Right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me. Let's start off with the norm. A quick recap of the previous session. We did chapters 3 and 4. Quite a bit happened. I'm probably going to miss out on a few things, but we'll start with the bonus doors that we did. We finished off Tita's, well, I'm not sure if we finished it off, but we completed some more of Tita's backstory of what she was doing between the end of Trails in the Sky for second chapter and now, where Agate turned up and they completed the testing of the Orbal gear, which didn't go quite to plan. Agate defeated it, much to Erika's chagrin, and then it went out of control, where it became stronger. Agate defeated it again, and that wasn't enough to put it down, but Tita was stuck inside of it, so he rescued her from there, and it smacked Agate in the back while he was protecting Tita from it trying to attack her. And then afterwards it was shut down by Dan, Tita's father, with his sick staff-wielding skills. Turns out Dan was also the person who taught Cassius how to use a staff. We found out that Annalise's puppy, or grandfather, the person who taught her the way of the sword, was Master Kunyafe, I believe, or Yakunfe, one of the two. You learn more about him in Cold Steel, but we haven't actually seen him yet. He was also the person that taught Cassius how to wield a sword, which was the weapon he used before he took up the staff. We saw the Ravens training to become bracers, and we did some fights in the arena. Those were entertaining all way around. We saved Gilbert again, as he got caught by monsters again. But into the story of the game, not the side story stuff. We made our way through the gold and silver roads, where we had to split the party up into two groups of four, one led by Kevin, the other led by Rias. At the end of those, we fought some bosses, the spectral or doppelganger of Kevin and Rias. Kevin fought Rias, Rias fought Kevin, and got two more sealing stones containing Zin and Oliviet, I believe. That was apart from the side doors, that was a rather short chapter. In chapter 4, the area we got sent to was the local training area, where we went through that and we got 3 more characters, and eventually fought another devil. But before all that happened, Riaz got really pissed off at Kevin for pretending and manipulating his own emotions to seem like a human. From her perspective, and I'm not saying she's wrong here, I'll just hold out for that to be revealed in the game, he's pretending to get along with everyone, and on the inside is a cold and unfeeling, emotionless person who can just manipulate his emotions to make it look like he can feel. And she can't stand to be around him when he's acting like that, because she truly cares about him as a person, as they grew up together. So in chapter 4, she decided to take a step back and remove herself from the party for the time being. So in the local training ground, we went through the sewers, which instead of having water, had lava. At the end of those, we fought another doppelganger. I believe it was Annalise. So yeah, and after that we got Annalise. Then we went through the forested area. Fortunately, any water there was still water, and there was no lava around, and that's where we saved Gilbert from the monsters that I mentioned earlier, and he ran away claiming that he would never share his months of food that he had apparently stored somewhere. And then after that we fought another doppelganger and got Sherazade. After that we went to the final training ground, I forget the name, but I can have a look, the Grimsel Fortress, which was originally designed to be a place for members to train in trying to break into a fort and save some people or chase some people down, that sort of thing. Though the layout of the Grimsel Fortress was very different to the layout of the Grimsel Fortress in second chapter. And we made it through that with little to no difficulty. And at the end, we fought another doppelganger of Agate, which we beat. And after that, we got the warp point to lead to the next lowest plane, the 5th plane. But before we could use it, we were attacked by another devil. It was called Astarte. It paralyzed us, stopping us, and put us in some sort of dome, stopping us from being able to move at all. Riez had gotten over her little funk with Kevin and came to save us, realizing that something had gone wrong. Or perhaps she just came to talk with Kevin and saw that something was wrong. So she tried to save us, but that didn't go well. It looked like she was winning against the devil, but she really wasn't, and the devil stopped playing with her and beat her down. And that's where Kevin used some special ability that he hadn't used up to this date. A symbol of some sort appeared from his back, and we gained his S-craft that actually deals damage. Using that S-craft, we easily defeated Astarte, but using that thing, whatever it was that Kevin had, was a double-edged sword, and he fell unconscious shortly after we released our final sealing stone that we got for defeating Astarte, which had Estelle in it. Before he fell unconscious, he left the cube. He, being Kevin, left the cube to Riez, and that's where we are. So let's get back into it. And this is where, since no one will kill him, he's trying to get someone to kill him for him by sending him at the hardest work. Labyrinth of Shadow and Light. I suspect this will be another one much like Chapter 3, where I have to have two parties. Joshua knows what it is. Right. I'm going to keep Joshua in my party because he's good. And I think I'm going to actually... considering I'm got a very strong idea that I possibly only got 3 party members left. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yep. So yeah, I'm almost done on that front, but I've got 2 doors that are still I need a stell for. The girl who loves fishing and something to do with someone who shines as bright as the sun. Or the Gamble Jack books on the shelf. So let's quickly skim through all of these. Four. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 10. Number 11. Number 12. Number 13. Number finale. Right, so now let's... No, we're done with the bookshelf. Let's go to Moon Door 4. Bring to me the girl who shines like the sun, and may the boy who cherishes that light be at her side. So I'm going to assume that requires Estelle and Joshua. And since this is a moon door, it's probably going to take quite a bit of time, as these are rather long. Bring to me the girl who shines like the sun, and may the boy who cherishes that light be at her side. Only then shall the door open. Yep, Estelle and Joshi. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. So, let's get through this. While they're interesting, they are rather long. The first week. Well, hello there. There's no need to be so afraid. I am but a humble magician. So this is likely Weissman. This is likely where Weissman met Joshua. I will heal your broken heart, provided, of course, I am compensated. And this is clearly not, so... All I could hear in my head during those days were the same words repeating endlessly, like a broken record. Yet somehow I had no idea who I was saying them to. I had no idea who was saying them. All I knew was that oh, young Joshi. Oh, his eyes are dead. Kick the can before balls existed. He kind of already is sitting. She sure does like bugs. There's the quiet broken. Sounds a bit tired. Uh-oh. It's a bit too many bugs. You got yourself a swarm. Bit of the map's cut off there. The second week. one way to win an argument. His first glimpse at having a family back. Several weeks later. Several peaceful weeks later. Joshua's injuries continued to heal, and it wasn't long before he was able to walk with ease again. Estelle was jumping for joy at this fact, using it as an excuse to drag him out to play with her or her at every possible opportunity. For him, however, it meant more than deciding what game to play next. He had to decide what course of action he was to take. The time for him to make his choice was drawing near. Rehabilitating. We're gonna help with the kids. In the past few weeks, there's been no sign at all that anyone's coming after me. Why not? They must have worked out where I am by now, so am I supposed to take this to mean that they're not interested in me anymore? So they just stole my memories and cast me aside? But still, I still feel like I've lost something really important to me. What is it? Just what have I? What have I? Oh, he's smiling a bit. I finally understand. I finally know what I lost. Everything that was important to me, my happy memories, or that made me myself, that was the compensation I gave. All that remains now is a doll, a twisted, broken fragment of who I was. Someone who existed only to destroy what others love. I need to leave. If I stay any longer, I'll end up destroying the happiness of everyone around me. I need to keep the things that I care about as far away from me as possible, not close by. I need them to be far, far out of my reach. And I need to do it now, before the darkness within me contaminates this place forever. I need to leave, before my very existence causes her irreparable harm. The next day. Check for new sneakers. Priorities. Alright, let's visit Elisa first. I'm digging this music. We lose the awesome music for some admittedly good music, but not as good. Yeah. That's not good. Damn it. Oh, that is really not good. Because I can't believe how much I've changed because of you. You're such a strange girl. It was then that I made a promise to myself. It was for my own good and no one else's. The only condition by which I could permit something as unnatural as me to be allowed to live in this peaceful world. Doing so was the most cowardly thing I could have possibly done, but I hope you can forgive me. I was more concerned about that than about continuing to deceive myself. On the final day, and this would be slightly after second chapter, where they decide to go off and explore the world and the wonders and try to atone for the things Joshua has done in the past. It seems everyone in town has come to see us off, even the kitty. She really looks different to the younger version of her that we saw in Another Door, that I forgot to mention earlier. We saw the meeting of Shera and Aina. And this plane, airship, is taking so long to go. And away it goes. Side story departure finished. And I got the memory quartz and 8000 mirror. Before I go check out the fishing one, let's see what... see what the memory quartz is. It is a time. Door locations are shown on the mini-map. Well, considering I can teleport to doors, that's kind of meh. It's not really worth it. Start ore. I'm gonna see if I've got enough to complete this one. I think I've done 100 battles by this point. Those who have not proven themselves in battle are not worthy of stepping forward. Should you wish to be deemed worthy, struggle through 100 battles, only then. Yeah, good. Dunskies. I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Enclosed is a report on the damage dealt to the former Principality of Northumbria by the Salt Pale. Also contained within is research on the Pale itself. Holy City of Arteria, Congregation for the Sacraments. And right now I have to go feed my cat because he wants food and it's being a nuisance. So be right back 1 sec. Cat fed, now let's get on with it. The Salt Pale Research Report. I hereby present this report to your holiness, ever at the side of the goddess. This report contains classified information and may only be read by those with the clearance to do so. Certain sections of the utmost secrecy have also been blacked out. Progression of events after the Pale's appearance. July 1st, 1178, 5:45 a.m. An urgent report came in from Haliask Cathedral in the then Principality, now State, of Northumbria in northern Zemuria. It stated that a giant white pillar so tall it appears to kiss the clouds had appeared on the outskirts of the city. Bishop Alexei, the one who sent the report, behaved as if extremely unsettled by what was happening. By urgent order of the committee, 2 knights of the Grouse-Ritters, the 8th Dominion, aka the Roaring Lion, and a squire, both of whom were working on another mission in a nearby nation, were dispatched to perform a formal investigation. They hurried to the scene via the 8th Merkaba unit. Please note that the Merkabas had only recently been put into use at this point. They arrived promptly, and at 6:22 a.m. this was what they saw. Enclosed is a photograph, the object now known as the Salt Pail. At this point, however, it was far larger than the term pail would suggest. It was more akin to a massive tower that soared hundreds of arc into the air. The two knights provided the following observation regarding the situation on their arrival. We were met with a mighty hailstorm blowing in our direction from Halisac, or so it appeared at first, till we eventually realized the storm contained not ice, but salt. The object's surface is completely covered with salt, making it impossible to tell what it may actually look like underneath. The surrounding air has become powdered salt, and it falls to the ground like snow falling on a tundra. That is not good. The spread of that salinification process was startlingly rapid, and the affected areas spread in the blink of an eye. By the time the Grouse Ritters arrived, the entire landscape of the capital had turned to salt, and the lives of many who lived there, like the aforementioned Bishop Alexei, had already been lost. Yet, the spread did not stop there. A day after the Salt Pail first appeared, a vast coniferous forest zone north of the capital crystallized and collapsed. Bridges also collapsed, rendering all of the main highway out of the city unusable. Please note that by this point, the ruler, Prince Belmont, had already fled the country to a nearby nation. Coward. No. Nah. It's not really anything he could have done, but he could have at least tried to make his people think things are okay. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything, but as a ruler, he shouldn't run from problems affecting his nation. Anyway, 2 days passed since the Pail's appearance. By this point, roughly half of the entire principality had become a sea of salt. Countless refugees had fled to the southern side of the country because the River Greve stood between it and the affected area. Finally, 3 days after the Pail's appearance, the salinification process stopped at dawn. As a result, the knights were able to advance on the capital of Haliask. I've been pronouncing that wrong. With hope of investigating the Salt Pail. That afternoon they finally reached it, but what they found looked completely different from how the Pail had before when they first arrived in Northumbria. In the center of the salinified area, they found an object that was about 2.5 arg in height. The surface was no longer blanketed by salt, rather it looked as if something had been carved out of it. It is now believed that the Pail's mass decreased as the salinification process progressed. In its smaller state, the Pail had lost its power to turn swaths of the country to salt, but its ability to salinify was still very much intact. Anything that touched it, even for a millisecond, was instantly turned into salt. It was of the utmost importance to handle it with care. In order to complete the mission without physical contact, the Grouse Ritters required the use of the sacred tool Gleipnir, which was delivered to them from the High Sept in Arteria. Since then it has been kept closely sealed away deep within the High Sept of Arteria. Still, while the recovery mission was ultimately deemed a success, the damage already caused was equally vast and significant. No damage to the surrounding nations was reported, but it resulted in the destruction of 3 of the 5 administrative districts of the Principality, including its capital. Over a third of the total population, along with travelers from elsewhere, lost their lives. This is to say nothing of the emotional damage caused due to its sudden outbreak. The hearts of Northumbria's people were overwhelmed with fear and uncertainty. From a humanitarian and a religious perspective, a swift response from the Septine Church was all but necessary. The decision was made to dispatch personnel to the region right away, and upon arrival they set about rebuilding the damaged churches and healing of both physical and mental wounds of the people. Those who were left orphaned in the crisis were taken into gospel facilities, where they would be cared for until adulthood. The northern region of the country, which had been turned entirely to salt, was placed under the church's control. It has been a restricted area ever since. Supplementary notes. After some time, the country's former leader, Prince Balmond, attempted to rebuild the government, but given that he had fled the country during its hour of need, caring only for himself and not his people, all authority he once had was gone. The following year, the country's people led an armed uprising, and the Principality of Northumbria was no more. Eventually, elections were held, and the country became a democracy, thus bringing about the birth of the autonomous state we know now. This was also where the former Principality armed forces were formed as a vigilante corps. Given the extreme poverty of the state, however, the majority of said corps considered gathering foreign currency to be utmost important. That was how the large-scale Jägerkorps known as the Northern Jaegers was first established. And to this day, they still try to earn money to bring back to their home to try and rebuild what they lost. As far as the rest of Zamuria is concerned, this is where the tale of the Salt Pail ends. But a number of very important questions still remain unanswered. Perhaps the most obvious of these is where it came from. Despite the considerable size of the object and that it appeared on the outskirts of a populated city, no information is available regarding the moment it first appeared. The most popular theory is that its appearance was due to something akin to spatial translocation, but no hard evidence exists to support this, or any other theory. Of more importance, however, is its positioning in the teachings of the Septine Church. The pail is clearly different in nature to artifacts and appears to be a more fundamental manifestation of the goddess's powers of creation. Committee report. With the limits of our knowledge it presents, this is as far as we can get to the truth. There are some who have proposed it may be one of the Septurian, but no evidence has been found in legends or scriptures to support this belief. Oh, hey, Attack Token. Yeah, this game has a lot of reading involved. Nevertheless, these questions and many others need answering, and the Congregation of the Sacraments continue to study the Salt Pail to this day. The most accepted proposal comes from those who believe the pail should be seen as nothing more than a gift from Adius, and they continue to consider various means for her church to make good use of it. Such. The most realistic of these plans is using it in the manufacture of a sacred tool used for execution. Parts of the pail are cut away using high-pressure water and then surrounded with a cylinder made from salt crystals, allowing them to be fired directly into the target without requiring the user to make direct contact. Should the bolt make successful contact with a human target, their whole body would be turned to salt, killing them in mere seconds. There are no known means of reversing or stopping the process. This approach does not come without flaws. It seems unwise to be careless with an object we still do not understand the true nature of. For one thing, there are also humanitarian concerns with executing someone in this manner. Ah. Right, fair enough. I made that title yesterday and I just didn't bother to change it. But yes, fair point. Still, it does bear mentioning that should there ever be a case where a target needs to be eliminated without fail, this would be the most surefire way to carry it out. It should go without saying the research on it is intended to continue into the future. Appendix regarding the aforementioned sacred tool. Trial use begins of the sacred tool, top secret work only. Permission granted to use in execution of blank. Used in execution of blank, fired from a bow gun. Results were extremely favorable, no damage was caused to the surrounding area. The target was also successfully erased. Appendix about the target. The target, blank blank, was orphaned by the Salt Pail when it first appeared. Ironic. A brief history of is as followed. Yes, I wonder who it was who used this weapon. I mean, well, if you played second chapter, then you know. And if you didn't, why are you watching me play the third? Joins the Septian Church, joins the Congregation of Sacraments as an official, promoted to bishop, declared a heretic and excommunicated from the church. Side story of the Salt Pail finished. Petrify and 3500 mirror. Well, then, prepare to be confused. And... here we go, the girl who loves fish. Last door before we can get back on with the story. Shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Fair enough. You've played all of these, haven't you, Chicken? Or Attack, or whatever you want me to call you by? Once upon a time, there was a girl called Estelle Bright who absolutely loved fishing. Meanwhile, in Grantsword, there existed a group of dedicated men and women who prided themselves on the sport. They were called the Fishermen's Guild. What else could it possibly be called but fate within two paths crossed? This is their peculiar story. Chapter 1. Our story begins at the lakeside. At the side of the Valerie Lake lies a quiet little place by the name of Kingfisher Inn. Seeking a break from her work, Estelle decided to visit for some well-deserved relaxation. At first, she had gotten excited. The fishing lover she was, she decided to borrow some gear from the inn and make her way out onto the pier to enjoy some quality time there. She saw one successful catch after another, and before long, her bucket was teeming with fish. But then there was Lloyd, a member of that one and only Fisherman's Guild, who happened to be at that very same inn, and on that very same day he was having the opposite of young Estelle's lucky streak. The moment he had arrived, he had set off in a boat to begin fishing, but try as he did, he hadn't managed to catch so much as a single fish. Now feeling thoroughly defeated, Lloyd motioned back towards the inn. Upon his boat approaching the pier, however, he caught sight of none other than a very pleased Estelle, rejoicing in the size of her most recent catch. Righto, fair enough. I think it's worth playing, but if just watching them was enough for you, then that's understandable. After all, these are rather long games, and if you don't have the time to play them, then you do what you gotta do to enjoy them. This sight was all it took to give rise to Lloyd's competitive nature. Now thoroughly fired up, he approached her and challenged her to a specific kind of duel. That's good to hear. When you say the first one that you got, do you mean first chapter, or do you mean the first Legend of Heroes game? So, first chapter then. It's a good game, it's very fun, it's got some great music, and is... So, it's also a lot more happier, if you will, than second chapter and third. Estelle and Lloyd will face off in a 5-round duel of the century. Both will take turns at fishing, and whoever has the most points at the end of the 5 rounds will be declared the winner. When it is Estelle's turn, you will be prompted to choose a rod and a bait to use. Certain baits can only be used with certain rods. After choosing, the game begins when the exclamation mark appears. Quickly press to confirm to catch a fish. Certain fish can only be caught with certain baits. In addition, some fish can be used as bait to catch other fish. Different varieties of fish are worth different amounts of points, making trying to catch more valuable ones the key to success. More valuable ones are also more likely to escape, but don't let that deter you. The other way, I love this track that's playing right now. Oh yeah, oh, the story is good as well. I didn't say that was bad. I'm just saying it's a bit more upbeat than what comes after it. Let's go with a row. A Rockida 61 Rig. Yeah, in some bits it really does. You know, It gets serious, and that's a good sort of thing. It means you, when you do eventually beat it, it feels like you really overcame something. Sure, let's try catching with a salmon. Some of the characters' backstory that you meet along the way can also get pretty dark. Ah, I missed. Oh, I'm still on the lead. Oh, I lost my salmon, so let's do this again. Like, I think I'm gonna get Rin soon, and then I'll be able to eventually see her backstory, and that's some dark stuff in there. Yeah, exactly. And it also, for the most part, doesn't try to hide that darkness from you. Like you said, it treats you like an adult, which is good. Now, you know, for a member of the Fisherman's Guild, he is really not good at catching fish. Silver-colored lure. Which means I can probably do the harder versions of this that I'll be able to do later, but I'm not going to do them right now. I was blissfully unaware of what a fate. Fishing set 5000 mirror. Continue to chapter 2. No, I'll come back and do it later. Alright. As much as I like playing with Joshua, I kinda want to take him out of my party for a bit. So I want to see what your new S-Craft looks like. Yeah, I know. I gathered it was another fishing challenge. I just don't want to do it at this very moment. Chloe. Nope. And Estelle. No weapons for Estelle here. those. That'll come in handy. Damn it. So... lily necklace. You have the solar seal. I'm going to take that off you and put it on Estelle. Wrong button. Okay. Alright, let's get on with the shoe. When I can find my mouse. Yeah, it does sound a bit like that when I hear my own voice, but it doesn't sound that way to me. Though it might be just because it's coming through the mic. Then again, everyone says their voice sounds different to them than it does to other people. Personally, I don't know many Australians that have the stereotypical Australian accent. Yeah, exactly. More often than not, you don't really hear an accent in people unless they, like, speak the language as a second language, from my perspective. I mean, obviously, like, British people have a different sounding way that they speak English than Australians or Americans, for example, but it's not as... I don't often find that it's as strong as people tend to believe it is. Now, maybe that's just me. I just try to speak clearly and concisely. Doesn't work all the time. Okay, so you're not doing any damage. What about you? Nah, I don't know. People probably just hear what they want to hear to some degree. Now let's see what my new S-Craft looks like. I didn't put it on, so my new S-Craft doesn't exist yet. There we go. Right. Otherwise I'm just gonna forget. Tita. Oh, it's not a choice. Is it not an S-craft? Oh, it's just a regular craft. So let's see what Orbal does. I just get in a robot. What can I do in a robot? I don't. Good luck with that. Have fun. Are you still streaming more of that Warhammer Martyr? If so, I hope you enjoy it. If you're streaming something else, I hope you enjoy that as well. So physical is not the way to go with these. Oh, God. Crap, I ran. I didn't want to do that, but too late now. All may set foot within the door to lay claim to its rewards. However, you must first overcome a trial. Should this fail to deter you, open the door and step inside. I want to heal up my EP first. Then I'll go inside. Yes, let us do it! And I forgot to go to that oh no, wait, I didn't forget anything. Overcome the trial before you. Then I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Get close together. Oh, so that's if they can stone me. Oh, that's unfortunate. Not can, do. And I didn't say before coming here, so it's gonna have to wing it. Alright, so let's focus on getting rid of this guy first. Right, I'm gonna have to come back into this one with Petrify resistance, otherwise I'm just never gonna beat it. Come on, game, hurry it up. Catch back up. So, retry. Oh, you can't run! And I don't know how long ago my save was. So, yeah. No, 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 no. Oh, please, for the love of God. It's so close. Alright, one more try and then I will just, I guess, reload my save. But I've got all those doors to do again. So much for being blinded. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna have to reload my save and go from there, because I can't do this and I can't run from this door. Here's hoping my save wasn't too far back. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just going to spam my way through those 3 doors that I did, holding down the skip text button. In fact, no. I'm going to leave them for later, because I can't do them now. I will quickly go through them when I finish up this session. Right, so this time I am going to have just Joshua and you. The ones I can redo quickly that are all just text, I'll do now and get out of the way, but I'm going to buy accessories for Lily's necklaces to protect from confuse. Right, so Moondor. Let's get this out of the way real quick. Shouldn't take too long spamming through the skip button. Except for these text boxes that can't go faster. Almost done. And I'll go do that one about the salt pail, and then I'll just get back on with the story. Almost finished. This is the second last little bit. ignore that starter, I'll go to it later. I'll do the Salt Pail one later, I just want to get on with the game. So yeah, I'm just going to go back to the Hermit's Garden, buy equipment. Sure. Armor. Oops. Now I'm just going to continue on with the story, and I can go to those doors that I have to redo at a later date, because I'm guaranteeing that by the end of this I'm going to have a few that I have to do. Right. Crap, I forgot to put the lilies necklaces on everyone. Oh, well, I just have to not get hit. There we go.
That's that.
Alright, so first let's go to the Stono Monument. Restore EP HP. I don't think I needed to do that, but why the hell not? Shop. Might regret this later, but I want a lot of money that I can use right now. Right, equipment. Lily's necklace and the Mirage ring. I just want to have the Mirage ring, Lily's necklace, and Mirage ring, and Mirage ring. There we go. Now I can do that door over there that fucked me up, and not have to worry about getting screwed over by it. So, okay. I'm going to go give that door another try now that I have, protection. Everyone. But I'm gonna save before I do. Hurry up, hurry up. Should have a much better chance of completing it this time. I know Aerial doesn't do any damage to these things, but it gates a lot of CP really quickly. That does do some damage. Is you done? Is he done? Yay, I beat it. Now I get the memory fragment. Hopefully it was worth the trouble. Well, that was kind of worth it. You have overcome the trial. Thus I shall grant you a memory fragment and my blessing. Great, a whole bunch of reading. Orbments are devices that use orbal energy contained with septium to cause a variety of unusual, useful effects. It has only been a little time, only over half a century since they were first invented, but even in such a short time they have already revolutionized the world as we know it. From daily necessities such as lighting and heating to tanks and other similar weapons used to defend our nation, orbments are used in just about every facet of our lives. In fact, it's now hard to imagine life without them. So much of what we take for granted in life now involves them in some way. As it is to proliferate and advance the development of these orbments that we exist. We, the Epstein Foundation. Our foundation was first established in the year 1155 of the Septium calendar, the year after Professor Epstein's passing, and was created by his brilliant-minded disciples in order to honor his wish. The foundation is based in his home state of Le Mans, where it remains in operation to this day. It was rather limited in size in the beginning, and its attempts to spread orbal technology was initially met with little success. Sensing that the professor's dream would never be realized at the rate they were going, 3 key researchers left Le Mans to try and spread the seeds of orbal technology across the continent themselves. One was Professor G. Schmidt, the professor who had gained a fine reputation of his own for his skill in the field of mechanical engineering. Wes went around and visited corporations in various nations to persuade them of the benefits of orbments. The second was Professor L. Hamilton. Mindful of the technological gap between regions, he long believed it was rural and remote areas that needed orbment technology more than any other. As such, he enlisted the help of the Bracers Guild, which already had a close relationship with the Foundation, and formed a mission with the intent of promoting and spreading technology wherever applicable. The professor himself also toured the regions with the aim of spreading public awareness and laying foundation for others to build on in the future. The third was Professor A. Russell, now known for and wide as the father of the Orbal Revolution. Professor Russell returned to his home nation of Liberal and continued to work tirelessly to advance orbal technology there, and within a year of returning he had set up the Zeiss Engineering Factory, now known as the Zeiss Central Factory, and created the first orbment to be made outside Lemon State. 3 years later, the reigning king of Liberal at the time, Edgar III, visited the factory to inspect it, and he decided to donate a large amount of money to further the research. With His Majesty's endorsement, orbments began to spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom, bringing such prosperity that the people of other nations were filled with envy. Up until then, most people didn't see orbments in a particularly positive light, but their success in Liberal changed these impressions virtually overnight. One nation after another began to reach out to our foundation to share orbment technology, and both our foundation's financial and social standing became that much more successful. In the eyes of the world, the Orbal Revolution was a sudden, far-reaching transformation, but it was only because of years of reaching out to people and diligent, largely unnoticed research that it was able to happen at all. The Foundation's activities center around the following 3 guiding principles. 1. Carrying out fundamental research of orbments. 2. Spreading orbal technology and informing the public of its benefits. 3. Contributing to world peace through technology. Now then, let's discuss each of these guiding principles in more depth. Okay, I don't want to read anymore. I'm tired of reading. Side story: the Epstein Foundation finished. Ingenuity 2 and 7000 Mirror. Augment. What does Ingenuity... Do I have a higher level of action? I do not, but what does Ingenuity 2 do? It requires level 3. Recovers a small amount of EP while walking. Goodbye, doppelganger teaser. For we knew thee well. Alright. We can continue. At the end of this game, before I get to the final boss, I'm probably going to have to do some grinding. I kind of get a feeling there's a reason they're giving us so much access to so many characters. I figure we're going to need to use the majority of them for the final boss. So I might have to do some grinding later on, unfortunately. Mirage Ring. Good XP here. Might have to swap out my characters and come back here. Oh, I already took that one.
That's that. Let's move out.
Oh, I already grabbed that one. My bad. Good. No experience, but I get through it quick. Okay, so what? Alright, so I'll get rid of Buggy Boys. Should do it.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest in peace.
Supreme Cloak and Dagger. The one person I wanted to get a level didn't. So who did I get with this sealing stone? It's Richard. Richard and Almathea research. Alright. Do I want to change my party? I want to take Joshua out for one of my more low-leveled characters. Let's start with the lowest and just work our way up. So, Tita. Equipment. Let's take some stuff off dear Joshy boy. The Solar Seal and the Mirage Ring. Shop. Buy weapons. Let's buy the best, the UG02. Armor. No, I'll leave that stuff alone. Equip. Take the Glam Choker off for the Lily necklace. And I'll take the Mirage Ring off for the Solar Seal. Items, what am I doing in quartz? Let's see. Slots. Tita, do you need any? Yes, you do. Right, let us get back to it. Richardo, what do you give? You give increased HP. Yeah, I'm gonna make you my support, Richard. Crest Charm. An evil spirit and it can split itself hard to hit. So Dark Matter. Dark Matter. I don't care if you cost a lot, I want this thing's dead. $200 of every Sepith. Got I went into it. So, let's see, what is... Go through this one and see how far along I can get.
We're good to go.
Start off 4, Sundoor 4, sorry. To choose left or to choose right, only the cards know what the future holds. If you wish to step inside, present the card that governs fate. Stone Monument. Okay, so I can't get any further through here until I get the next Sealing Stone.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest in peace.
No, I am not fighting that with this body. No, 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 no. Oh, actually, it's starting to do some damage. Crap baskets.
Goddess, my thanks to thee.
Alright, so... D, where do you take me? Over there. What? Oops. Well, that Curie isn't going to do anything.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest in peace.
Destiny's card, so that will hopefully the Destiny's cards will likely allow me to go into that door. But it was an accessory, wasn't it? Destiny card. A final trump card entrusted. Yeah. Press E. Just takes me there. Next ceiling stone. Well, that's a thing. I wonder who's in this ceiling stone then. And I will take Tita out of my party after this and get the next lowest leveled person in here. Which I think is Mueller? take you out for my next lowest leveled person. 105, 105. Don't really care for Josette, so let's go with Mueller. Muller. And let's see if Mueller needs to have his slots upgraded at all. Nope, good on that front. Restore EP HP. Let's see if I have any augment increases that I can put on a Mueller. Do I have a better HP? I have a HP 4. I will put that on. I don't have a better action. Do I have a better attack? I do not. Do I have a better shield? I do not. Do I have a better hit? I do not. Nope. And detection, display treasure chests, locations on the map, and it's not really needed, but I'll give him that one, because having another person with Lacuria could be handy. Equipment. This fine young gent, or lady as it were, I'm going to take the lily necklace off you, so I can put it on a Muller. No, we had the... I'm going to take a walk around here because I actually want to talk to Rin, see what she has to say before I continue on. She's not on this side. She is not by the tree. Is she below the tree? Here she is. Alright, now let's see what Rin gives us a support character. Extra EXP! That is definitely happening. Back to the Luminous. Oh, even at lower level, he still does a ton of damage. Does damage like by the truckloads. It's gonna be like when I get him an attack 4 or something. Crap all whiskies. Oh, it's still counted. Good. Dark Matters. Dark Matter. Ascension. Dark Matter. Bring to me the playful minstrel and his closest ally against the beast they seek to overcome. an event. So it seems I have to bring Olivia and Mueller to that one.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest.
There is nothing my sword cannot touch.
Son of a bitch.
We're good to go. Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest in peace.
Blizz is 111 now, so he's catching back up.
We're good to go.
Right, let's save as I feel a boss coming up. Synthesized quartz. I want actual quartz. Okay, I want to attack 4. Mind 4. HP 4. Defense 4. Hit 4. EP 4. EP. Cast 2. Action 4. Right. Augments. I want to put on some better stuff. Action 4. HP 4. EP card. Do I have a better EP card than that? I do not. Alright, so let's... one more save. Slots, Chloe. Nope. Alright, let's just trade all this in for monies. So I'm sure I'll get a substantial amount back later. Right, so let's go and do what is no doubt about to be a boss fight. Yep. Spoiders. Some spooters.
Upon the golden wings of battle.
Ah! So, killing that one invited made that. Well, that's a thing. Okay, did I put it on her or not? Because I could have sworn I did.
Upon the golden wings of battle.
I gotta kill this little guy. Oh, for the love Bravo, Criminy.
We're good to go.
Oh great, I don't have any more. Right, well, I'm just gonna lose the fight then, and I'm... And... I'm gonna reload my save, and I'm gonna give everyone... poison resistance, and... stone resistance. Okay, so stone resistance is the most important one. Prevents petrify. So I want Mirage Seals on everyone. Lily's necklace, not as important. Silver earrings. Silver earrings plus. Mirage ring. File, save. Let's try this again, shall we? So I want to kill this one last. Start with the start by killing the little spiders. Which I'm sure they can actually just re-summon back, thus making this entire endeavor pointless. Alright. So let's start with Arachne Thorn. So it's one down.
Upon the golden wings ascend.
Two down. Three down. Now I just gotta kill the last one. I'm going to actually have to. no, buddy, you ain't getting a critical hit. I ain't not allowing that. Could you kindly stop? And I don't have anything to cure with, to rise the dead with. I really wish you would stop stealing our health. It really would make this fight a whole lot fucking easier. Stop it! If you keep doing... How am I even supposed to win if it keeps stealing my health? I'm just gonna let myself die. Right. Start off by dealing with this one. Start off by dealing. Alright, I'm gonna do Gracia. This healing bullshit is getting really over the top. One down. Two down. Three down. Now I just have the boss. I'm going to start off by spamming this right into his face. Thank you for being not an asshole. Yeah, and you dropped something for me too. Rias learned Chain Fury, Mueller learned Chain Fury, Chloe learned Storm Fury, and dropped a Sapphire Gem for me. Decided to stop being a freaking a-hole. He was in the last sealing cube, or sealing stone. Swarsritter or the Lord of Phantasma? Swarsritter. Right, so I'm going to do some leveling with my party members. Alright, I think I'm going to take a break once all these cutscenes play out. What time is it? I'm going to take a break, get myself something to eat, then I'm going to come back and do a big grind session and door session, where I complete as many doors as I can and grind everyone up to the level 111 mark. Did I call it a few sessions ago? Yeah, I called it. Right, I'm going to take a break, could be anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. I'll be back up by then, within 2 hours at the least, where I will do all the doors that I currently am able to do, and level my characters up to everyone up to a minimum of 110, possibly higher. We'll see how things go before we get into it, but I think 110 will be enough to continue on with the story, because it seems that I'm about to hit some events that require specific party members. Anyway, with that out of the way, as always, if you like what I do and you haven't already followed me, please do. I'd really appreciate it. Now I'm just gonna host someone, even though I don't think I have anyone to send to them, but why the hell not? Yeah. Who's on? Sure, let's host Nightmare again. Actually, there's no one here. I'm not gonna bother. Anyway, like I said, if you like what I do, please give me a follow either on on Twitch would be nice, on Twitter as well, and my YouTube page, which you can all find down linked below. Anyway, have a good day. I'll catch you all around. In a couple hours, I'll be back on. See ya.